She was a believer. Sometimes I can feel her arms holding me as forever. Time changes everything, and everything will change in time. Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you. I see in you my mother's eyes, and I lay your head to my shoulder. A lock of gold, a secret smile. I will tell you when you get older. I place a hand upon.
I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you, 'cause there's so many ways that I want to carve out our names, board a last minute plane, just us two. We can chase the sun as it sets in the mountains, find luck like a bet in Greek fountains, or lay lazy in bed with your head on my chest. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another high do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do. I hope you can hear every note that my heart sings, like a choir of bells, how they all ring. Oh, can't you tell, neath the timpani swells and heartstrings, there's a place deep in our hearts where it matters. We can stay there forever and after, written in stars right above where we are.
regret is in the stone. You are not, you're not alone. You are not, you're not alone. High upon the mountain, fathoms from the sound, rising with the morning, are lost beneath the ground. You are not, you're not alone. You are not, you're not alone. If you ever lose out or break down in the cold, stranded on the side of the long and tired road, I would drive for miles out in the failing light, brave the wind